Hey, welcome to my Exilecon video. Looking at Ziggy's video, I can see how much low effort I can put into this and be okay with it. So I'm just gonna copy his idea. Except he took way better photos than I did. And I recorded a lot of videos because I was intending to make a video where I stitch clips together and stuff. But my microphone on my phone really just died for some reason, and it's just shit. Also, most of the videos were on top of a hill, which was really windy, and in a cave/tunnel, which was really black, and so there's not much of that. But there is like videos in here, which are just like, why do I have this? What's the point? Nothing. Anyway, this was at the airport. This was at the airport. This was like Tim Tams. There were 24. I'm not going to explain every photo. This is like before. This is in Brisbane. This is in Brisbane. This is in Brisbane. That's my plane that like rocked up, but then was still delayed for an hour thanks to New Zealand. It's fine. And then this is the only thing on the plane that didn't cost money to watch, so I watched the entire season. Just skipping to the best bits. You know the best bits. Best bits are best. This is when I landed in Auckland. I sat at this point for about 7 hours. This is like when you get outside the international gate in Auckland. I sat there for like 7 hours because I didn't really want to do anything. I had no reason to go to the city yet because my like check-in was at 2 p.m. and I slept for like a little bit of sleep, just a little bit on the sofas there that you don't really sleep on. And in those 1 hour that I slept, Ziz managed to sneak through, which was upsetting. So then I went for a walk to try and find like a bus, and I couldn't find the bus. And then I went for a walk to try and get out of the airport so I could catch an Uber that wasn't technically from the airport, so I wouldn't have to pay as much money. And then I gave up on that idea and started walking back to this point, this entry point, so I could have another nap. And then I bumped into Octavian, and then we took a taxi shuttle bus or something together because he had a card and was like, I need to get on this. And I'm like, that's the only thing I've seen so far, and I know where that is. So I went there and we put a thing, and my front-facing camera on my phone photoshops your face, which I think is stupid. And here's some trees near Octavian's place. He couldn't check in until like 10 a.m. or 2 p.m. or something also. So we're just walking around. There's some trees. There's like Maya Park down here. There was a homeless/dead man on the grass, but I think he was just homeless. There's a cool park with grass and trees, and there goes Octavian and more trees, and there's a video of me going down a slide.
You gotta do extreme sports when you go to New Zealand.
And that's some awesome
like
quality.
Some people are jumping off the sky tower. That costs $300.
That's why I'm not showing videos. Also, I can't flip it from being upside down. Whoa, extreme sports! And there's me in my fish hat in Octavian's hotel, and there was a man sitting opposite us in the lobby that was like wearing a POE shirt. And so I did the whole POE thing where I'm like, hey, you want to come sit with us because we know POE stuff. And I think he knew who Octavian was, but I don't think he knew who I was, which is fair enough. No one did. But maybe he didn't even know who Octavian was. Anyway, Ziz texted Octavian, was like, yo, come hang out. And then we asked the random guy if he wanted to come as well. And I just followed. They didn't ask me if I wanted to come. I just followed them. But yeah, this smoothing shit on my face that happens automatically, I don't like that. That's stupid. Anyway, we met up with some freaks and geeks, and that's the guy we met in the lobby, and that's me/Octavian, and this is, you know who that is. And then that's Satellite Dish, looked really cool. And we went to Cotton On to shop. That'll really impress my family because one of my family members works at Cotton On. They're like, man, you should really shop at Cotton On. I'm like, no, I don't want to. And then Ziz is like, man, I really want to go shopping because I have all this money, stream of money to burn. And I'm like, I recognize that store, let's go to that store. So we went to that store and I bought some sunglasses. And then here's like the Aotearoa Square where the Exilecon was, but like we're 3 days early at this point. So then we snuck inside and saw some cool shit, but none of the shit was related to PoE 3.0. There was a bird inside though, that was cool. And then here's like the floor lobby, which I took a photo of just so I could like have it before needing to get in, so I know where to go and stuff. And here's some cunt at a burger store, had some food with him. And here's some other Octavian's face really close up. And here's the guy we met in the lobby named Thomas, and some guy that I called Steel Mage who wasn't. Anyway, he didn't hear me, so that's okay. But the fact that I've now said it on the internet means I can't take it back. And here's me in front of the menu, and here's a guy named Uber. If you've never met Uber, keep it that way, you'll be happier as a person. Here's some guy that like overheard Ziz talking. He was hiding around the corner, and he's like, I recognize that voice, so he like came over and chatted and stuff, and so I took a photo of his face real close up like this. And then we walked to the docks, which, by the way, is a really long way away from Burger Fuel. Where are we? This is Burger Fuel. The docks is a really long way away from Burger Fuel. We met up with this lesbian here named Taki. He was at like a cafe, and then we walked to the docks, but at that point, because I bought new shoes basically before the trip, my pinky toes were going to fall off, and Octavian hadn't slept in like 38 hours or 40 hours, so me and him went back to his hotel. I was with him so he could like not die on the way there, and then I went to the park and bought some like thongs or something. My left arrow isn't working. I've broken it. Park. I have to scroll out. There we go. More boats. So there they boats, big boats, and then I went to the park and I took my shoes off because my feet were bleeding. And there's a bird that's really cool. Like local birds that are like, yo, I'm a local bird, wanna hang? And I'm like, hell yeah, I wanna hang. And then they're like all hanging out and stuff. And I wanted to pet it, but you can't pet local birds because they don't like being pet. And then here's a guy that I met at like a bar. His name was Mark. I don't know whose name. He's this. This is when I started taking pictures of people's faces. I don't remember what his name was. I think he was Australian. Here's a picture of his face, and then here's a picture of another Australian's face, and here's a picture of a German's face maybe, and then here's a picture of I don't even know. Half these people didn't tell me their names. The only reason I know this guy's name is because he has the same name as one of the developers at Grinding Gear, and he was really happy when he got their signature because it was the same as his name, so maybe people just assumed that he signed his own card. I don't know. Australian, German, I got no idea. American because they had a really weird accent. Oh yeah, by the way, I just took photos of people's faces. This guy was British. His name was Doug. I only remember that because he looks like someone I know who doesn't look like this at all, but they have red hair also, but you can't tell that he's got red hair because everyone's got orange on them, but that's okay. I think Doug bought me a Coke. Maybe that's why I remembered him. This guy was weird. He'd probably be happy to be called weird. I don't remember anyone's names, and I never will. But I remember their faces because I took photos. I remember this guy. I remember this guy. Uh-oh. Oh, this is just identifying my surroundings.
The idea is that
All the way.
Yeah, that's how you can tell that one was American. Whoops, damn it. There's another man who drinks some alcohol because he thinks it is good to drink alcohol when recording. But I do not drink alcohol, so I don't care. Anyway, he seems very pleased with himself. Pleased, blah. And this man had a beard, which was cool. And this man didn't have a beard, but he had hair, which was cool. And this man was a little bit weird, but that was cool. And this guy was cool. And then there's a group photo of the entire table we didn't talk to, including another lesbian. We really bumped into a lot of lesbians. See, this lesbian's hanging out with his lesbian lover. That's cool. And some blurry camera. And this person was like 18 and like traveling with their dad because their dad got them into PoE. And I didn't know that I bumped into them on the first night, but I bumped into them on the second night. I guess everyone was slightly drunk. Also, there's a child here. I don't know how that got into the bar. And then there's more group photos and stuff. And then there's this guy. He was pretty cool. And then there's some trees with some green things growing off them. That was pretty cool. And then I boiled some eggs. Okay. So someone called me poor and said that I couldn't afford an SSD, and then another guy said I only live on a chicken farm, and I said, okay, I'll trade 12 eggs for an SSD. And he's like, okay. So I bought some eggs and boiled them just in case. And I should probably throw that Quinn clip in here at some point. If I remember to throw a Quinn clip in here, I'll do it. Anyways, boiled some eggs, and then me and my nana and my granddad went to the zoo and saw some giraffes and some ostriches and some zebras and some giraffes and something about ostriches and some zebras, and some giraffes, and some ostriches, giraffes, and zebras, and some more zebras, and some cool green leaves, and then a meerkat, and then a meerkat, and then he's looking at me like, why you do this? And I'm like, I really don't know, I'm sorry. And then probably a video of a meerkat doing the same thing, so I'll skip it, and then this tortoise that's on its side. And like, none of his friends help him. Look how fast they move. Anyway, and then there's like these are like lovebirds, which are really cool, and they're really cool, and there was lots of them, so that's why I took a photo of it. And here's my grandma looking at tigers, lions, because she doesn't like lions, she gets scared of lions. And the fence for the lions was like a wooden fence about like your waist height, and that's what's keeping the lions in. And then she's like, fuck that shit, I'm out. And then we went and saw whatever the hell this is. Oh, I took a photo of this because it's a rabbit. And I don't think it was supposed to be in there. But also that's like a dick or something like that. And here's another picture of the lions, except closer. And that's a lion. And then this is some cool like trees I saw. And then this is my nana walking past the cool trees. And my granddad, he nearly died in an Uber experience because he was halfway in and the Uber driver was like, everyone's in. And then he floored it. And then my granddad's half hanging out of the car. So he could have fell out and gotten crushed, but he didn't. 4 stars, Uber driver, nearly killed someone. Here's an elephant and another elephant. And then here's them again, except further away. And then this is a fish that was in the lake. And then here's like a swan. Yep, I know what birds are. And then here's a leopard, possibly in there, or a cheetah. Can you see his face? That's a cheetah or leopard's face. And oh yeah, I got a different angle so I could see it. But that, whatever that is, I still don't know. Leopard, cheetah. It's a cheetah. There's a cheetah. There's 2 cheetahs, one there and one behind this bush, which is now here. And here are some baboons. You can tell by the butt. And yep, close-up photo of butt. I don't even know why I zoomed in. And here's some more baboons doing the walkie walks when they walk and stuff. And then here's my nana looking at rhinos that don't exist. But the grass was really cool. And there's like a dippy bird. You know what a skimmer bird? Like a diver bird. There's a diver bird. I'm playing this in all its glory because I love it.
Oh, that was closer than expected.
It was. And then he goes down.
He's gone.
And like a minute later, like it didn't even take that long to breathe. And like a minute later,
look at that green. Where'd he go? He's not coming back. Oh, there, all the way over
like
there.
a minute later, he comes back. What? Who could have predicted it? And then 3 days later, Jesus showed up. Okay, and then this is a serval. We couldn't take photos of the servals because they were too busy hiding. So this is what a serval looks like. And then this is a cool branch that was all fallen over the path, but like tied together with strings, so you could tell it was there on purpose. And then this is like another cool plant, and then this is like a bird. And that's another picture of the bird, or a video. And this is a cool plant that like grew in like a hexagonal like shaped, like each split of the plant, each split like grew into like a hexagon or like a D20. Like it looked really cool, and I was like, that's really cool. Oh shit! And there's a gecko in it that I completely didn't notice. Okay, but the plant's really cool. The plant was the bit I cared about. The bit I cared about. So that more pictures of plant. And what's this? This is a lizard, and more lizards. And there's my grandma again. And there's a really good photo I took of my grandpa moving at lightning speed as he does. And here's a selfie because I realized I hadn't taken any, and I don't really like taking selfies. So it's probably the last one you'll see. And here's about stuff about wetters, despite the fact that I didn't know we get wetters at home, but my grandma just calls them like bitey crickets because they crickets that bite you. And here's a bird eating some fucking mango and having a great time. And here's a fish. Here's another fish. And here's kiwis. There's a kiwi right there in the middle. Right there. Right. That's a kiwi. Apparently they're massive. I thought they were tiny, but they're massive. I thought they were just a little bit bigger than this, but they're not. They're big. They're like chickens. Anyway, that's a kiwi in the middle. Right there. Right there. That's an eel. That's a shit ton of eels. For some reason. And here's a cool plant that was growing out of a rock. This is all like day 2 or whatever at the zoo. There's a cool bridge thing. And here's some cool grass that had like every color in it. Cool bush that had every color in it. And here's a lizard that had like spikes on him, and he looked cool. And he's like, yo, what up? And I'm like, I don't know, man, I was just admiring your tail. And he's like, that's cool, bro, don't stare too long, take a photo if you need to. And I'm like, I did, okay. And then here's like a cool spider web that wasn't even part of like the zoo experience, it was just to the side, but look at like the intricacies and shit on that. That was fucking awesome. My phone's really good at taking photos of stuff that's really close, but really far away, not so much. Anyway, here's a penguin that had one flipper who escaped through this hole over here in defense, and he's cool.
Have you only got one wing? Oh, you do. You're not going to attack me, I hope.
So meeting him was a highlight. Probably the best highlight. And there's a red panda up in that tree, if you can see up here. And here's a pun character I'm gonna make called Excellency. So Exilency. But I feel like that's gonna get taken now. And then here's my grandparents enjoying overpriced food. I don't know if I can say enjoying. I just googled bakery because I wanted a meat pie because I hadn't had a meat pie in forever, like even like 3 weeks before leaving. And I'm like, man, I really want to make a meat pie. Googled bakery, went here, by the time we got inside, realized it was like an over expensive, posh, organic food bakery that only made bread, but all this shit was like organic, which doesn't really mean anything. It's just a word they use to like charge people more money for like a $30 burger that looks like it's got a couple of pieces of fish and half a salad on it. And my granddad got whatever the hell that is, and I got something that I don't know even. Well, I think it was an okay burger, but it wasn't worth $30. That's my one. And then later on, I met some more people at another bar. This man was like a third of a streamer because he had a little bit of blue hair. We've met this man previously. Also, the man in the background we've met previously. I don't know. This guy we haven't met yet, but I will get a picture of his face, no doubt. And there's a man that we haven't met yet, and we didn't meet some of these yet, and we might have met that guy. And this guy's face is really weird, and this guy's face, I have a feeling he'll watch this video. So his entirely normal face. Just kidding. He's a little bit weird as a character. He's like, he's way more introverted than the rest of us, but once you get talking to him, he won't shut up. So I feel like that's like everyone, and me, and I can't. This guy's a really weird face. I don't know where I know it from. Probably like Nazi Germany or something. That's rude, but he's really cool. And then there's this guy, and then we already met this guy, I think, and I don't think we've met this guy, but there's a photo of him now, and then we haven't met that guy yet, and I think we met that guy, but I can't be sure, and we haven't met this guy, but he was in the background talking to some of the other people in that table shot. And we haven't met this guy, but took a photo of his face, and this is Neversink, and then this guy, you can tell this is Neversink by the fact that he's wearing glasses, and glasses are efficient, as everyone knows. And then there's this guy, I think we might have met him, probably not, but there's a better photo of him, because he's the only guy that deserves a better photo. And we haven't met this guy, but took a photo of him. I think everyone in the background, literally at any moment in time, like this was the time when we filled a bar, so literally every single person, there's that Stark guy, literally every single person in the background is a PoE person, which is a little bit weird to experience like outside of Exilecon, basically. Random bar and stuff. Like, is this person smiling for the photo, like all the way back here? That's haunting if he is. Anyway, yep. And there's that person again that I mentioned that I met earlier, that I didn't know that I met earlier, but I remembered that I met him this time. That's cool. And then here's another lesbian, and then here's another small child, and then these are the people I explored a cave with. Basically, spoilers for the future, but I'll tell you when I get there anyway. It was Friday, and about, 30 people are sitting out front of where the queue-ups are going to be to get your Exilecon badge early. And it was about 2 hours till it opened. And I just went, hey, anyone want to come see a cannon? And so 10 people, including this guy and this guy, got on a boat to see a cannon with me. That was cool. By the time we got to the cannon, by the way, which was up a fucking mountain, the badges opened. But that's okay. And this is I can't think of any puns based on names. This is a guy whose father married his daughters into multiple of relationships and dominated the last name empire of Malaysia. Post in the comments if you get that joke. And then this guy had a bandana, and then this guy had a face, and this guy had a neck. This guy was like one of the 2 people I actually planned a meeting there, and then everyone else were people that I made friends with along the way, kinda, except most people that I took photos of just took photos of people who talked to me. Not knew who I was. If I talked to someone, I didn't take a photo of them, I don't think so. But if they talked to me, I'm like, I'm taking a photo of your face, so I remember. Anyway, this guy was the person I planned on meeting, and then this guy was there again. I think this is right before the signing. So this is when I try and convince everyone to come see a cannon by going, hey, anyone want to see a cannon? And then they're like, yeah, okay. And then we went and saw a cannon. Anyway, this is my Nana meeting Neversink. That was something weird. And then this is my granddad meeting people. And this guy, I stole one of his build videos and then redubbed it and made a movement speed. Oh look, it's Octavian. And this guy has, look at his hair. That's not even natural. That's my granddad. Yep. And then we got on a boat with the 11 or 13 people that wanted to see a cannon, so that's cool. And we can read I'm not going to zoom in on that man's messages. And that guy's British, and that guy's New Zealander, and that guy looks really fucking confused. It's like, where the fuck are we going? A Netflix man's blasting music in the background, but I'm going to power through it. Okay, and this is on a beach once we got off the boat, and there appears to be a drowning baby in the water. So, you know, typical GGG stealing content based off the worlds around them. I'm going to close my door real quick. Just because I can see this annoying me in the future. Close that one. Close this window. Didn't make my bed. What are you going to do, sue me? Good luck. And my ear's getting blocked, so it feels like I'm talking in one side of my face more than the other, but that's okay. And then here's another beach, and here's like the beach that photoshopped itself somehow. And here's a bunch of introverts walking through a beach to get to a cannon, which is cool. And then they had a lot of stones and memorials, which are like, on this day in 1978, a boat arrived, and that boat had a bird on it, and the bird was gifted to the people of the land, and we built a clock tower for the bird. And there's the cannon in the distance. That's where we're going. And below the cannon, over here, is like a Navy museum full of really old people in a cafe. And it was really, like, the lady that runs the place, or at least was at the desk, like, her face lit up as if people were coming to see the museum that weren't old people there for the cafe. And we're like, where's the cannon? And she's like, down that way, take a right, take a right, take a left, go up the hill. And then she like gave us interesting facts about the cannon, such as there is tunnels underneath the cannon that don't have a light source that you're just allowed to freely run in, which I don't think you're allowed to do in my country, just freely run around in the abandoned tunnels underneath the cannon. But anyway, there's some flowers, because close-up photography is something that my phone is good at. Yep, and then this is us walking to the cannon, and like I think around this point is when everyone started screaming because they actually spotted the cannon, which is why I took a photo of them and the cannon, person for scale next to cannon. So that's us traveling the cannon, and more flowers, and this is at the top of the cannon. We're halfway up to the cannon.
Slide down. You're okay.
Yeah, and I nearly died getting up there, and he nearly died getting up there, so that we're both equally unfit in different ways. And there's like the city. So a little panning shot, like over just about here. Why is there a straight line there? That's really cool. But just about here is the Aitoi Square, and so we took a boat here and then walked up here, and there's a cannon up here somewhere. There's a cannon. Cool. And then here's us sticking around in the caves underneath the cannon. I feel like I would have had better footage. And then here's the cannon. Here's the cannon, and we're exploring the cannon and like checking out the deets on the cannon and the stats on the cannon, and looking at the rubbish that people have dumped down in the cannon because people are cunts, and trying to operate the cannon and realizing we don't have any ammo, and then trying to blow up Australia. And then here's another clip of us running around in the caves in the darkness screaming for help, and something like a horror film. And when we got out, we had one less person than we had when we went in, but I don't know what happened to them. And then here's us using like maps and stuff to figure out stuff, and then here's us exploring. And then this guy fell down a cliff. I don't think he told anyone that he fell down a cliff. So if there's photos of him and he's like hiding his arm, it's because it's bloody AF. And if we have a group shot somewhere, I don't think so. I don't think I've got a group shot. Oh fuck, I had other photos I was gonna add to this. People sent me on Discord. I'll do it all at the end. I'll do all the added photos that people sent me on Discord at the end, and I'll just add it on, and then we can just grab the locations and details and see if you've remembered what we did. This video is supposed to be quicker than Ziggy's, and we're 23 minutes in and we haven't even been to Exilecon yet. Okay, walking back to the ferry. That's cool. And then we go to a memorial shrine. This isn't it. Ignore that one. And then oh yeah, two people get on a bus, and then two people bet the people on the bus $2 that they can get back to the ferry before the people on the bus can. So they start sprinting, and so the rest of us just walk. And this is a memorial cross field of remembrance of anyone who on this side of the Auckland that died in like the war and stuff and future wars. There's like World War I, and then like 24 things, and then World War II, and like that's the majority of it. And then these ones here are really morbid because this one says like Vietnam and there's no one here, and then this one says Afghanistan and there's no one here. It's like they're setting plaques for future wars, which seems a little bit fucked up, but that's okay. And this is the registration thing, and there's no queue, so they all got in like instantly. The cannon crew didn't have to wait, got in instantly. And this guy seems really happy about not being in the cannon crew and having to wait 3 hours to get through to the queue. I don't know how long the queue went for. So we got food so we could eat it in the queue, but there's no queue, but that's okay. And then there's all PoE people that all got their badges and stuff. And there's a giant wooden triangle. And then I decided to actually go in and get the queue after meeting this strange man. Yep. Strange is a word I would use to describe human beings, and this man is a human being. And then here's a dog who was in a concept art photo, so I decided to take a photo of him because he looked really happy. And this is a man, and this is also a man here. And we went to, there was like a crab shack. This is during the night of the VIP dinner. VIP dinner was across the street. Crab shack was across the street of the VIP dinner. But Crab Shack got full of 80 people, so then we just like overflow Mexican place next door, so we went to the Mexican place next door. So here's the PoE people and more PoE people up here. And then I think there was an outdoor like bar area, so that filled up with people who were alcoholics, but mostly people who didn't want to drink sat inside and just had Mexican. And I ate about 3 centimeters off the top of a 15 centimeter burrito, and I was full. Really don't eat much. Anyway, this is a man that was at the Exilecon thing, another man that we've already met, and another man that we haven't met, and a man in the background we didn't meet, and I think we've met this guy, and we don't think we've met this guy, but this is in the actual convention now? Yeah, this is, okay, we're starting the Exilecon now, and everyone in the background is PoE people, but I don't know if we've met them or not. And these ladies explained to me, not how the game works, but how the game... I think they explained how the game works, and then I probably forgot. I took photos of them because they were nice. And then that's my feet, and then this is a small child that somehow managed to get into the exhibit. He was found climbing a rock, and they're like, get down from there, and he's like, you can't make me, and then something about breast milk. Anyway, and that's like a pirated podcast that I recorded, and then this is the thing, so I didn't have to go online to get the what was happening, because they're like, just go online to get what's happening, and I'm like, I don't wanna. And then here's like me sitting in the crowd, because people were like, where are you, Jim? And I sent him a photo of this, very cryptic. And then here's a guy that this is a employee that I took a photo of, and I found it was funny that he was Fire Fury and a ginger, and I made that aware to him multiple times, to the point where he's like, can you stop talking to me? No, he was very nice. I think I made a friend, so that was cool. Made a friend with this guy, and this guy was cool, and this guy was cool. This guy wasn't as cool as this guy, but don't let him know that. And then he was cool. He was the one with the Magic Find Wind Ripper cosplay. His outfit was very majestic, but I didn't take a photo of it. And this guy was cool, and this guy was cool, and that guy was cool. Oh yeah, there's just going to be lots of pictures of people's faces. To the point where I started to forget to take photos of people's faces, and people were like, why haven't you taken a photo of my face yet? And I'm like, but okay. And so, also sometimes my phone was out of charge, but that's okay. And then this guy was cool, and this guy was cool, and this guy was, and this is Jun this is Jun cosplay, and this is Jun and questioning my sexuality cosplay. And then this is this is not cosplay, it's the guy. And this is Einhar, and he was voiced by his voice actor. And before anyone goes, oh man, Jim, Einhar was really cringe. I've talked to tons of people who didn't go to the convention and tons of people who did go to the convention. Everyone who went to the convention found the Einhar stand-up enjoyable AF, and everyone who didn't go found it cringe. And I think the only reason you found it cringe is because you couldn't skip through it. And even in real life we couldn't skip through it, but it was probably enjoyable. Like, it might have been cringe for a little bit, but then he started throwing out like $60 rower fucking toys into the crowd, and I'm like, man, if you just keep tossing merch, I'm gonna put up with however much stand-up you're gonna do. But he was cool. And the part that no one talks about because it wasn't streamed was drunk Einhar at the after party, but let's never talk about drunk Einhar at the after party ever again. But yeah, Einhar was cool, and this is some girl that I met. Just kidding. I tried to get Jonathan to sign an egg, but he refused. But then he signed my SSD that I traded for the eggs, so it works out in the end. And then this person I met, and then I met this person, and I met this person, I met this person. A Diablo person, or am I just being like racist because he's old? I can't remember. Anyway, there's a person, and there's a person, and then we went and had lunch. This was like low-key, this was my favorite food that we had, including the Turkish place, which was amazing. But this place was like a kebab store, and this chips and chicken. This chips and chicken was amazing. I had never had better chips and chicken, and I hardly ate it because it was so good, and I want to go back to New Zealand just to eat this chips and chicken again. I can't believe I didn't go back and get more chips and chicken from this place before I left. I made a mistake. It's amazing. I'm not telling you where it is, But there's the A Terrier square in the background and a landmark. So if you just walk this way, across the road from this bowling pin sign, there'll be like a kebab place, and they have really good chips and chicken. But don't tell anyone. And there's the people that I eat the chips and chicken with, and that's the other person that I was planning on meeting from me Discord. So this guy's from me Discord, and this girl's from me Discord, and I'm like, they're the two people I was planning on meeting. But then I made all these other friends along the way, like this cunt. And these people are just background people that were walking by. But I met this cunt who had churros instead of chips and chicken. The fuck? And then I met some people in like a red place. This was like a bar that had couches instead of hard seats. So I was like, that's a +1 for me. But because we got like a massive crowd of people into this bar, what happened to his neck? Because we got a massive crowd of people in this bar, the guy's like, if you're not ordering alcohol, it's free. So I had free Coca-Cola. It was great. Shout out to that bar I can't remember the name of. It's Cassette 9. Anyway, Cassette 9 was pretty cool until it got like 11 p.m. or 10 p.m. and they're like, it's 10 p.m. We're officially a club. And then they just blast loud music, and I got the fuck out of there as soon as that happened. But like when bars aren't blasting loud music, it's a really enjoyable experience because you can actually talk to people. And there's the people I met, and it was just like a really crammed in side table. It was really warm, but there was other seating outside that was not as warm. So this is why I sat in here, because it was warm. And that's person, and that's person, and there's group photo, and then this small child that I met who took a selfie with me when I was dressed as Waldo, and we'll see that later on. And he's wearing his star shirt, so he looks like the Pixar ball. And then there's this guy, and then there's this guy, and then this is the egg that I was getting people to sign as a joke. This is Quinn Egg with complete signature list, Chris Wilson, and the gang, and Jonathan. Even though Jonathan refused to sign my egg the first time around, I'm like, Jonathan, I just got this egg signed by Chris, you have to sign it now. And so he signed it. And I got everyone to sign it. I think I didn't get Eric to sign it because he sneaked the fuck out of that signing session. And then I sat on it, sat on the egg and broke it open in my pocket. So then I threw it in the bin. Rest in peace, egg. And signatures. And here's some hammers. Don't know what that is about. And here's the Fire Fury's face again, I think. You can tell because he's ginger. And then here's just some guy I met who had a Exilecon thing. So he had to be PoE related. So I took a photo of his face. Don't know who he is. And there's a lady that I gave a shirt to, so it's not like she bought merch and was like rocking it and stuff. It's just that she asked me how my peacocks were, and I'm like, you actually watch videos? And I threw a shirt at her. And just like any person, when you throw a shirt at them and aim exactly right, it automatically goes on. And that's how you make people wear your merch. And there's people queuing up to get in again. And this man had 2 beards, which is better than 1, as everyone knows. And this is like the mapping place, and this is a scam. If you played the Exilecon card game, you don't have to do maps to be able to kill Shaper. So it's just a way for you to blow all your gear and get nothing really good out of it. And is queuing up to see World Generation, which is something I'm really interested in. So that was a really cool thing. Good job, Rise! That was a really cool presentation, and I learned a lot of things about combining basically tiles and rooms together, and I've never thought of doing that. I mean, I was doing them separately for like level generation, like tiles, to do like a little invisible robot that runs around, and everywhere he steps he generates a tile, and that's like how you make dungeon generation. And I was doing room generation in a sort of in the same way that you described Delve and Motherload. I was doing like a Motherload clone, which was, instead of randomly generating tiles as you go down, it was generating pre-designed rooms as you go down. And so you could encounter the same room multiple times, and the deeper you got, the different like set of rooms. But I never thought of combining tiles and rooms. That makes way much more sense, but I don't think I could do it because I'm too dumb. And I never finish projects. I just do the part that I want to learn about, which is world generation, and I never make a game out of it. I just kill I kill the project at that point. But that was really cool learning about your world generation stuff. Appreciate it. This guy's got a series of cuties, and he crafted them. He put quality on them, so he basically ruined them with the sticker. But that's his face. And then these people are really proud of the stuff they got, so took pictures of their face. And pretty much anyone like this, basically, they're people who gave me hammers. Thanks for the hammers. Got some hammers right here. You can tell they're hammers because they have the signature on the side still. This guy, and then this guy was a zombie. I think, possibly, 3 or 4... employees of recognized me. I'm saying 3 or 4 because I know 3 recognized me, but I can't remember if Fire Fury knew who I was or just became friends with me because I assaulted him about being Fire Fury and a ginger so much. But that guy's cool, and this guy's cool, and this man is secretly posing for a photo in the background, and that's weird. and this guy's cool, and what the fuck's happening? Everyone just keeps doing that. And look, he gave me hammers, so that's cool. And this guy's cool. And this guy, I can't rotate. Oh, I can rotate. I recognize this person from somewhere, but I don't know where. They were with someone else. They were with this guy, possibly. And they're like, and he's like, I'm like, can I take a photo of you? And then like, yeah, you want to take a photo of her as well? I'm like, yeah, okay. I recognize, I can't place where I know this person from. And then there's this guy, he got his little access, took a photo of him, and this guy is posed in front of this guy's photo bombing in the background. So it's a photo of this man. This guy seems very entertained by Exilecon, and this guy was kind of short, but this is the guy who I was trading hammers with, and then he got upset that I didn't take a photo of his face. I'm like, the reason I didn't take a photo of your face is because I have to bend down to do it. So then I bent down and took a photo of his face, so that's cool. And this person had like a Zana cosplay, and I was really amazed as how they had a monocle with like it stayed on because it had the two brows, and I'd never seen that before. And they're like, yeah, I just took glasses and cut them in half. I'm like, why don't corporations sell that? That's awesome. Probably because monocle business isn't really like booming, but that's really cool. Took a photo of this person, took a photo of this person, took a photo of this person. There were two people who I was like, can I take a photo of you? And they said no. So one of them was from Hong Kong or China, so that's a valid reason. And the other one, I don't know why. But if you don't want photo taken of, if you're in this video and you want your face removed, let me know and I will delete the video, blur your face, and re-upload it, because I'm probably not monetizing this unless it goes really long. No, I'm not monetizing this because I don't monetize anything that's IRL. In-game stuff, sure, but IRL stuff, no. So I'll just delete it, and who gives a shit about the views on it? This is just like a log for me of people I met and stuff. And so there's another guy, he was in the background, and now he gets his own photo, and then there's a new guy in the background of him. So guess what the next photo is going to be? It's not that guy, it's this guy. How unexpected. And this is me meeting Einhar while dressed as Waldo, and Einhar's really cool, and he can swap between Einhar and Nico voices like on the spot, and that's a little bit terrifying. And I got a clip of him saying my username for Twitch uses, but that was during the drunk Einhar moment, and I feel a bit cringe at video editing it, so I might never use it because he seemed like he really needed to pee, and we kept interrupting him to do voice clips. And then finally, when we were done, he like basically sprinted into the ladies' bathroom, and that was the ladies' bathroom and not the men's bath. And it doesn't matter. And there's a picture of my belly button, and then his majestic beard with recognizable person in background. If you know who that is, bonus points. But he's got monster outfit, so he's definitely employee. And then there's a face man, and there's another face man looking in the distance, and people trading cards in the background. And another face guy, and this is the crafting station that had like a 3 to 2 hour queue every time. And here's another person that gave me hammers. This man had a Untainted Paradise shirt, and I'm gonna sneeze. And this man has hair. This man has hair. And there's the games to play in the background that you weren't allowed to take photos of, and I actually accidentally did. And this man looks like that monster from Monsters Inc., where he just, the short Monsters University, the short one with like multiple eyes, and he just stares. Anyway, there's some people, and we recognize that guy from previous photos, and people I took photo, and this guy gave me hammers, so he was really cool. And this guy was his friend. He's like, what the fuck you doing? And this guy's, I don't know. And he was like, okay. And then next one, and then this guy probably gave me hammers. And this guy gave me hammers, and this guy gave me hammers, and this guy was Canadian. You can tell by his face. This, I don't know what that's a video of. That's probably like I recorded crowd reaction to the race, but it wasn't anything fun. It was mostly just random screaming. This is outside the convention, and this is some dude's face. There's a point of view shot. He said we took like thousands of photos to get the one that he used, but I like mine better. I just heard Zoidberg, so I think someone followed while I was recording this video, and it played the sound effect. So thanks for that follow, stranger. And here's a group photo of I don't know where this was. This was on Sunday because all the bars were closed. So we went to an Irish bar because Irish people have bars open all the time. Multiple selfies to try and get everyone in, and we still didn't get everyone in because there was someone sitting like over here that didn't get in, but that's okay. And this is a man that was getting assaulted by literally everyone because they wanted to stab him and take his money. Or learn his racing secrets. Here's a photo of this. I'm literally... I've forgotten everyone's names. I've already said that, but all I'm going to say every time is there's a photo of this guy, there's a photo of this guy, 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 photo of this guy. So unless I physically, emotionally assaulted you and somehow have remembered in my brain who you are because of my physical / mental assaulting on you, I'm sorry that I don't remember your names. Oh, you didn't tell me your names anyway. I'm just like, hey, can I take a photo of your face? We shook hands, took a photo of your face, and you never told me your name. That's what you have it coming. Anyway, photos of people.
Yes!
I don't know. I honestly don't know. He seemed very happy, despite the crippling loss that he experienced. But I think he's happy because he met this person, and this person hangs out in his Twitch chat a lot. Because she hangs out in everyone's Twitch chat, and it's a little bit scary how she knows everyone. And there's this guy, there's this guy, and there's this guy. Who's this guy? If you cover like the top half of his face and just look at his beard, it's Einhar! It's drunk Einhar! And then there's this guy, and then there's this guy, and then there's this guy, and then there's this... I recognize that guy in the background. And there's this guy, and this guy, and this guy. And this is like at the very end of the after party when Chris Wilson is still crying and in tears and he was going how much he hated planning Exilecon and how he'd never do another one again. And this is at the very end of it all, and he's like, man, that was great, can't wait to do another one, and another card game. So the next one's going to have another card game, probably card game 2.0, and I really don't want to participate in it. I really don't want to farm another one, Chris, don't make me do it, but he's going to make another one, and I'm going to have to. And then here's some Bala ladies, which is terrifying, and here's a dude who looks really tired. And here's a house that's green. I got another picture of these people with me looking incredibly seedy, but that's okay. And house that's green looked really cool, and this is me walking to the park. Uh-oh. I'm just gonna keep going through it. Okay, good. I was brave for a second then, because after I was walking through this park, I accidentally left my Bluetooth on, and someone sent me a picture of a naked lady, which I didn't notice. But then I met up with my grandparents and caught them sleeping while watching ads on TV. There's so many fucking ads on TV in New Zealand about old people dying. And even my grandparents were like, it's getting a bit much. There's like 5 to 6 different ones, and you see 4 of them every ad break. But yeah, I was walking through this park taking nature photos and stuff, and I left my Bluetooth on, and someone sent me a picture of a naked lady. And later up I met with my grandparents, and we had dinner at a Turkish place with like some PoE people. And I was sitting next to my Nana, and I'm like, hey Nana, you want to see some photos of the park I walked through? So I just clicked the first one, I was swiping through them, I'm like, here's a tree, here's a tree, here's a grass, here's a thing. What's this? I don't remember taking... Oh, it's a naked lady, and my grandma's staring at it, and I'm staring at it, and I'm like, I didn't take this. I didn't put it away. I'm like, swipe next one. So that was weird. Anyway, there's Uber again, and I said to Uber, well, I lipped to Uber from across the room, like, if you come over here and talk to my grandparents, you better fucking control yourself. And he didn't come over and talk to my grandparents, because he can't control himself. Here's some people, and here's some weirdo taking a selfie. Who does that? You gotta get why you take yourself in the photo? It's so stupid. And this was Turkish place, and it's probably best food they had. Look how great this This is an amazing photo of my grandfather. Look how happy. Turkish food was great. That's a rainbow. One rainbow wasn't a double rainbow. And this is like a bar everyone went to again after the Turkish place. So this was like dinner at a Turkish place, and then afterwards my grandparents went home and I went to bar place with some strangers and took some more photos of people that I'll never see again. Yep. And then is the nightlife and stuff, and here's everyone walking back. I don't know where we went. I think we went like to Hungry Jack's or something, and I had the worst chips of my life. But that's cool. And then later on I went to the Auckland the Auckland Museum, and then I saw a boat that could hold 100 people, and I met up with a British guy named Eric, who came to the museum also. And there was also a Diablo guy there, but we'll talk about that when it comes to it. And these are like jade sculptures they wear to create rattling sounds and stuff. So they wear them underneath them, or they wear them in this box. and they create rattling sounds to either like to show off wealth. So the more you rattle, the more of these you own, therefore you're wealthy. There's my granddad touching a boat, and here's a wooden thing with a chicken on it. So I'm taking a photo of that because GGG love wooden things with chickens on them. So there you go, wooden things with chicken on them. And there's like a Polynesian basket thing, and I was like, that's really intricately woven, so I took a photo of it. And here's Vessel Pig, because Vessel Pig must always be taken photo of if found Vessel Pig, therefore found Vessel Pig, therefore take photo of Vessel Pig. And here's a rock that didn't really look like a face in person, but when I took a photo of it, it definitely did. I mean, it's designed to look like a face, but it was really weird. And here's a weird mask thing that I thought was cool. And here's eating overpriced museum food, and they're really enjoying it. And then his Diablo guy that I found in thing, I didn't recognize him at all. British guy I was with was like, there's a Diablo 2 developer / founder over there, you should go assault him in the museum. And I walked up to him and said, hey, didn't see you at the convention, can I take a photo of your face? And he's like, yeah. And so I took a photo of his face, and then I didn't talk to him again. And then we like walked past each other in the bird exhibit and like looked at each other's eyes, and that was about it. And there's a cool thing in like a French person's exhibit thing, and someone's like, hey Jim, that looks like chaos, you should take the photo, it looks like chaos. So I took a photo. And here's like kiwi, they're like size of chickens compared to kiwi egg, which is fucking, how does that even work? And then here's a moa. I knew these existed like previously, they don't anymore, but it would be really cool if they did. Granddad next to moa for size comparison. Cassowary, kiwi, cassowary baby, ostrich baby, emu, didn't get emu baby. There's another bird that I didn't take. That's a penguin. Cassowary, emu, ostrich. There's another one. Why didn't I take a photo of it? I didn't know existed. It still exists. It's still alive. Maybe it like lives in Brazil, and I'd never fucking heard of it before in my life. But large flightless bird that lives in Brazil. Apparently that's a thing. That's a close up of a penguin's face. Elephant bird. That's not it. That's just like the largest egg. Elephant bird. That's it. So over here, I still didn't take a photo of it. How did I not take a photo of it? Insects. New Zealand's only native frog. That was their only one, and they killed it and put it in a glass case. Really cool bug with really long antennae. Birds. That's where I walked past the Diablo guy. I could Photoshop out all the strings and just make it look like there was a shit ton of birds in the museum, but I don't think that'd be very believable. This bird was cool, so I took a photo of it. This is that plant that I was taking a photo of earlier, but it's now a museum exhibit, so I learnt about it. It's a moashai shrub. But yeah, the interlacing branches I thought was really cool at the zoo, so I took a photo of it. And it just so happens that the museum think they're really cool also, so that's cool. Check them out. Yeah. And here's some more birds. And here's Eric British guy opening the world's squeakiest drawers. And here's another kiwi and egg comparison. And here's a shark that just told a really good joke. And here's like a rock see-through. And here's like a rock with fossil in it. I've got some fossil rocks, they're pretty cool. And here's some more birds. And here's some more birds and Nana. And here's a kingfisher. And here's a bird with the world's coolest hat. Like, yes. And here's a cat and a pot. And here's a cannon, because Cannon Crew loves cannons. And here's a Spitfighter. And here's a bigger Spitfighter. And here's a Spitfighter with people comparisons. And it actually works apparently, but it never flew or something. Never used in combat, but it's been flown. But everything works in it, which is really cool. And then we were planning on how to heist a Spitfighter, because like the roof, they lowered it in, so the roof must be able to be removed again. So if we get a crane, enough people, we could probably steal a Spitfighter. Here's the like the Rolls-Royce engine inside the Spitfighter and how everything works, which is really cool. And here's the roof of the I keep forgetting where we are, museum. And here's the Japanese version of a Spitfighter, which isn't a Spitfighter. It's a lot smaller and a little bit bulkier. I'm giving myself stalling time. It's called a Zero. This is a Zero. That's pretty cool, because that's the amount of kills they got in the war. Okay, and here's a small fort where the people in the fort are made up of sticks. I thought that was really cool. And like the guns, when they shoot them, are like cotton. Scroll! Like they're shooting the guns and they leave little pops of smoke, but that's little bits of cotton. That's pretty cool. Here's my grandma standing next to a slug from a cannon, which is really cool. And here's a cannon, not the one that shot this, but a different one, artillery piece. Yep, that's really cool. And here's one of those little guns with the arm piece that I thought was really cool, so that's cool. Well, cool is my new favorite word. This is a spotlight. Guess what it is? It's cool! And then here's a guy, probably not so cool, with an artillery piece. That's pretty cool though. Here's outside the museum. I nearly said the zoo again. I don't know why, but that's the cannon over there. So that's a cannon. That's a cannon. And outside the place where this cannon is stored is another cannon because New Zealanders love cannons. And here's rabbit's ear plant because it's really soft and cool. And then we're exploring like a local park. It's like a community garden maybe. And there was definitely not just some free growing illegal stuff, but there was. And this stuff was cool because it was yellow. And I'm like, I took multiple photos of this yellow plant because of how yellow it was, and look how yellow it is, and that's awesome. Just look at it. Look at it. It's awesome. Some plants and some red plants and some green plants and some purple plants and some birds of paradise. And an open roof bar. That was like the last place I went to before I came home, I think, open roof bar. This is on the way home. There's that green plant house that I saw earlier that is now different colors because the light's illuminating it. And this is like my last night there, so I took a photo of place, and this is in like shuttle to go home. And here's like a picture out the shuttle window, and here's my nana showing up to ask if I want any food for breakfast. Hey Nana. There's another door.
Anything to eat today?
No, I haven't had anything. Not really.
Do you want anything?
Sure.
I've got avocado.
Yeah, whatever.
Got some avocado.
She's making me avocado on toast. Best Nana ever. Anyway, this is Nana and Granddad. They came to me in New Zealand. That part wasn't already recognized. And I just took a photo of this because for some reason my camera can take multiple depths. That's probably why it's adjusting all the time. When I'm recording something, it's constantly adjusting. But it can take like close focus and far focus at the same. It was blowing my mind. Anyway, here's like some ice on the plane that was building up, coming back, and here's like a 30-minute clip that we're gonna watch the entire thing of out the window when the plane landed. We won't watch the entire thing. I've got a clip of it somewhere else, which I will open up now. Edit out that distance, Jim, because I don't want people to see my desktop full of spaghetti. Anyway, here's some photos that I didn't take, but someone sent me. So this is Cannon Crew doing regretful poses. Cannon Crew group photo. Missing the guy that fell down the cliff because he didn't want to be in the group photo covered in blood. Neversink was in the Cannon Crew. Awkward talky guy, Cannon Crew. Big guy, Cannon Crew. Jim Cannon. Wow. That guy, Cannon Crew. Wait, is that not the same? No, that's smaller. That's the quieter one. And man, we really didn't take very good photos, did we? If we all wore glasses, we wouldn't be able to tell that we're all flinching because the wind was heckin' windy. Most of us wore glasses. And then there's Chris signing my SSD, Beck signing my egg, which broke, but then Beck signed my SSD, as you've seen. And Jonathan signed my SSD already, but then he signed the egg, so that's pretty cool. This photo was sent to me by a person who took my photo without my permission, and that's not creepy. I'm only giving them shit for it because they said, hey, I took your photo without your permission, is it creepy? And I'm like, no, that's not creepy. No, it's great. And you can compare the egg here to this egg here, and they're basically the same thing. In fact, one could Photoshop one onto the other and you wouldn't even know. And the Cannon Crew with more people, and then some photos of people I met, and then that's rest in peace egg after I sat on it with all the signatures. So the world's most expensive signed egg is now in the bin. And this is a photo that Neversink sent me because I gave him a cookie, and his cookie was bigger than my... Nah, I'd already eaten it. I'm just like, oh shit, he's got a cookie. That's my Nana's cookies. That's so good. That's so good. And here's blurry photo of someone sent me that they took selfie with me. So there's probably a photo of their face that's not blurry somewhere in the entire video series. And here's the Pixar ball egg, Pixar ball child man who won selfie. That's cool. Good selfie. Shit selfie. Good selfie. Shit selfie. Good selfie. Let me fix your shit selfie. There we go. Now I'm not blurry. Okay. And here's the Bala Crew mod people, and I'm crouching to try and get in it. It makes me look really weird, but that's a good photo right there. Right there. Another one. I should really not crouch in photos. Anyway, oh yeah. You've probably seen this, so you don't need to see it again. But this is like the start of getting the egg signed.
Nice. That is fucking mental.
Can I tell your chat to sub to me?
You can. Wait, you want to tell me?
Maybe my audio's not fucked up. Maybe it's just my headphones. So maybe I could have watched video clips the entire time because this is fucked up. But I don't remember it being fucked up earlier.
Yeah, tell him to sub to
So
me.
it's just my
Don't
headphones.
sub- don't sub to him.
What's your Twitch?
Sub to me at Slippery Jim 8.
That's Slippery Jim?
The fadeaway, it was the best part, yep, and then all right.
Than what you get from the beach, you know.
People farming the beach for those white items.
Well, the beach is a registration tent outside.
There I am.
Yeah.
That's me,
$180
and that's
single
Emperor
phone
from the
Starter cards.
Discord, looking like adult by looking
Thank you,
up.
by the way.
So this is just, yeah, I tried to spot myself in the crowd in moments, and that was me in the background there. The only reason I dressed as Waldo is so I could find myself in other people's photos, and I only found myself in like 7 photos. And I can't steal photos of other people's photos from Instagram, but I stole Twitch clips because I feel like I'm allowed to edit them into stuff. So that's me there. And then Rory Neon talking about cat skills.
The kind of theme of being stealth.
Wow, my audio is really fucked. I'm sure it works on your end, but it doesn't. I think my headphones are having. I probably plugged them in the wrong thing. That's okay.
Aggro radius, that kind of stuff.
Talking about cat
Quite
skills and
aspects of
stuff,
the
no doubt.
cat-like.
Cat skills probably still too loud. Cat skills,
and
skills, cat skills, cat skills.
you get some
Trying to get to
damage,
the crowd shot. There I am, right there. Can you see? Right there. Can I zoom in this? No. Right there. Right there. Right there. Right there. Can I zoom in this? Why can't I zoom in anything? Right there. And that's Emperor. Right there. That's some bad quality shit. But right there, you saw me right there. Yeah, it's totally worth it. There's more elephants and oh yeah, here's like the sped up version of landing in Australia with all the smoke and shit because everything's on fire. But I thought a time lapse would be pretty cool from a plane, so I wanted to give it a go. So this is what that looks like. Damn, I really tried to do a quick video, but it just can't be done. It just can't be done, even with time lapses. Maybe I could time lapse this video. No, that's a bad idea. Man, this is some wobbly ass time lapse, but I guess planes are wobbly. And then we landed. Cool. I don't know why this is in here. That's the last picture. So that's everything. 3 more minutes and we break an hour, but I don't think that does anything for you on YouTube. I think I have to edit some stuff out of this anyway. And, oh yeah, I have to edit that one point where I showed my desktop. So you won't see that probably. There was probably another point that I had to edit out, but I can't remember where that was. So I won't do that. I have to fix my sound. The fuck? Anyway, thanks for watching. See you at the next con, because if I see you there, then I don't have to make one of these shitty videos, because I don't know how to make video do goo. I don't know goo video do good. Just come to the convention and have fun. If you're one of those people who are bitching about drops in Twitch chat, forget about that shit. It's MTX. Who wants to put on stuff on your character to make your game run slower, to look pretty, when you could come to a convention and like get a free drink of Coke at the after party and meet all the people. It was way fun. It's like my first convention that wasn't like generic pop culture, because at generic pop culture convention you're like, hey, are you here for the thing that I like? They're like, no, I like Doctor Who because I'm a cunt. And then you're like, okay. And then later on you see people that later on you don't even know of people who walk around the city. You could safely assume that foreigners in Auckland at that time were there for the convention, and most of them were wearing PoE shirts. So just bumping into people in the wild that had PoE shirts and being like, I know you and I know the thing you want to do. You want to hang out and get a drink? And they're like, fuck yeah. And then you go you just bump it. That's the most social I've been in my entire life, and it was great. And I'm never doing it again, apart from if they don't have a convention. I'm never being that social again. Usually if I'm at a bar with someone, I would go up to them and we'd sit in a conversation. And I'm like, I have nothing to talk about because things that interest me don't interest you, so why would I bother? But this was like, I actually have stuff to talk about because we were all interested in the same thing. Oh my god, that was so good. Anyway, stalling enough. I have to edit this video. It will be up as soon as it is up, And if you got to the end, there's 2 times where I did a shout out for you to comment in the comments if you knew the people. One was a person who is an employee, and the other one was a joke that I made about Malaysia. So if you know those 2 things, let me know. Bye! Thanks for Patreon money and stuff, because I probably wouldn't have been able to go to Exilecon if I didn't get subs on Twitch and donations on Twitch and donations on Patreon and people watching videos without ad blocker, but this doesn't have ads on it. So thanks for all that if you did that, because I wouldn't be able to. I'm avoiding eye contact with a fucking camera. I've probably got a problem.